Dude, what the hell is this? You call that a cyclops? These guys are supposed to be cannibals?
What?
And this multi-headed giant worm thing is supposed to be Scylla? Come on, not a bone to pick with this film, and it's gonna be full of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear the spoilers, set sail right now, my friends, because this is it. We're here to talk about the monsters of the recently released film, The Odyssey. Hello, creeps. Welcome to another episode of The Mortuary. I am your host, Morbid Tuna, and this is where we talk about horror films and related geekery. I'm going to talk about the new film, The Odyssey. However, I'm not talking about the whole film. It's not a horror film. It's not really horror adjacent either. It's an adventure film, but there are monsters in it. And monsters, no matter what the rest of the film going on around them might be, are definitely horror-related or horror-adjacent if you want to get all la-di-da about it. So let's talk about the monsters. First and foremost, the Cyclops. Classic monster from Greek lore. For anyone who doesn't know, the Cyclopes, that's the plural, were giant humanoids with one solitary eye right in the middle of their foreheads. They were related to the Titans, who were the enemies of the gods of Olympus in Greek lore, but they were not mindless beasts. They could reason, they could think. Basically, they were like the gods, except they were on the losing side. In the case of the Cyclopes, having the one eye in the middle of their head was something that set them apart from the other Titans and the gods as well. The Cyclops in the Odyssey was not exactly what I expected. First of all, he's naked, and he kind of grunts and roars and gives that impression that he's really barely above the level of a beast. He does talk at one point when he's talking to himself. It's not really intelligible, and he certainly doesn't talk to Odysseus or his men. He just gobbles up a couple of them, again, like a mindless beast. And while the details of the legend are changed a little bit, most notably, Odysseus in the legend offers the Cyclops an urn of wine, and having never had strong drink before, the Cyclops gulps it down and just falls fast asleep as he's passed out drunk. That's when they put his eye out. So it's a little different from the film. But the monster's appearance is really what got me on this one. First of all, he's naked, like an animal. And most notably, his sole solitary eye is set this way, not this way. Every other depiction of a Cyclops I've seen, he has what looks like a human eye. It's just in the center of his head. Not this way, which, yeah, looks bizarre and nightmarish, but a little too much, though. It's a bit too Pan's Labyrinth for me. So that monster was a little off for me. Then you had these giant, armored, ogre-type guys, who, as far as I know, aren't in the legend of the Odyssey at all. They seem to have replaced a group of cannibals that was in the original story. Kind of cool, yeah, and obviously a big threat to Odysseus and his men. They stand no chance against these things and have to flee back to their ships. So yes, scary and all, but frankly, I think cannibals are scarier, because a lot of things can kill you, but who wants to be killed and eaten? Ugh. And then the third monster I want to talk about is Scylla. At one point in the film, Odysseus' ship has to sail through a very narrow pass with Charybdis, a giant whirlpool on one side, and Scylla, a monster on the other. The whirlpool is, well, a whirlpool. But Scylla in the film appears to be a group of giant, eyeless, man-eating worms or something that come out of these holes in a rock. Maybe they're connected into one beast, maybe they're not. We don't see the whole creature. But the point is that Scylla in the old legends looked more like a sea giant, and snakes with the heads of dogs growing out of her body that would snatch sailors from passing ships. That's the only similarity here. Basically, these things look like the graboids from the Tremors films, which, yeah, is scary and cool and kind of gross. But I really wanted to see the real Scylla, instead of just the big, snappy graboid things that come out of the caves and disappear. So that's what my limited knowledge of the story of the Odyssey tells me about all this. That's why I was lukewarm on the way the monsters were done in the Odyssey. The Cyclops especially, he has the most screen time, and they really dumbed him down too much for my taste. So that's it for another episode of The Mortuary. I'll have another video coming at you creeps in a couple of weeks. But if you like what you've seen here, please click that like button, click that subscribe button, and tell all your horror-loving friends to come on down to The Mortuary and listen to Morbid Tuna talking about horror and horror-adjacent stuff all night long if they feel so inclined. But until then, stay spooky, and this is me, Morbid Tuna at The Mortuary, saying, slash you later.